everybody. This is Carol Maletta. Welcome to the Parenting 411 podcast, where we share information parents need from sources they can trust. Mom, you know that helpless feeling when your little one's cough just won't quit? Well, Children's Mucinex for cough and chest congestion is here to help. It's got just the right ingredients to gently break up that mucus and calm chest congestion. It also thins and loosens mucus so that you can quiet that nagging cough and your child can rest well. Plus, it comes in kid-friendly flavors like berry and orange cream, so getting relief is actually easy. Use this link to grab yours at Walgreens so you are ready for cold and flu season. Just click the link below and snag this deal today. Today's episode features Roshanda Casteel. She's the founder and CEO of Family Behavior Modification Services. She is a life coach, a motivational speaker, radio host, and passionate advocate for families navigating tough challenges. After experiencing the complexities of the family court system herself, Roshanda made it her mission to empower parents with tools, knowledge, and confidence that they need to heal and grow and thrive in their family relationships. She leads with the belief that understanding your rights and having strong support can transform hardship into purpose. Together, we're going to explore anger management strategies that are practical, passionate, and especially vital for parents who might be working with Child Protective Services or facing court-ordered directives. Roshanda's expertise and heart for advocacy promises an inspiring and resourceful conversation for every parent out there, whether you're rebuilding or just looking for strength and insight. So welcome, Roshanda, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So I would love to know, if there's a part of your personal journey that led you to become an advocate for family behavior modification that might not have been the way you thought about it initially, but just that idea that you can help parents who are involved with the family court system. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, well, way before I became a advocate, or I don't really know what to call it, a title. I've come from a pretty diverse background where there's a lot of domestic violence, verbal abuse, substance abuse. So I've kind of been in this space for some time, but to evolve and to grow up and to be a parent, to be in a space. Knowing that everything that I had went through as a child, I never experienced CPS. It was kind of a blow for me as a parent of multiple children to be in this space. So I remember saying, God, you're funny. You have me here for a reason, but it's not because of this. So I remember being very adamant about watching and listening and understanding my environment when I was in that space, when I had an open CPS case.
Okay.
And it would allow me as an opportunity to just really absorb what was really going on in the CPS space, children court, family court. There's a lot, but a lot of it stems from a lot of trauma. I was able to recognize it, because of my own experience, and I listened to stories and I talked to other parents in that space. And I would even ask them, how did you get here? Right. And I would listen to the stories, and it's it goes back to certain situations by us not really truly understanding how to process as individuals. So I heard a lot of domestic violence, a lot of anger management, a lot of parenting issues, but it's just it's not difficult because everybody has a different background, whether it's religious release, whether it's the way you raise your children. It's just like a big bowl of just a lot of differences, but a lot of the same similarities. And it kind of goes back to us really not understanding how it works. So what I've come to understand in this space, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, when you said that, not understanding how it works, are you meaning understanding how CPS works or understanding parenting?
Understanding parenting,
Okay, got it.
understanding a lot of different dynamics of parenting, because sometimes if you're not ever confronted with a situation like CPS, we just live life and we continue to do things traditionally or what we've heard or what we've seen, and we try to take bits and pieces out of this situation and try to add to it. And so what I understood in that space, anger management, parenting, and domestic violence is kind of one and the same. It's like this cycle. It's
Right,
like a
right.
cycle. It's a cycle. It's like it goes hand in hand. It's kind of
Yeah.
hard for it not to go hand in hand. And the way I teach it is kind of hand in hand.
And it's kind of interesting that you talked about that, like even outside of CPS or the court system, that is a lot of how parenting goes. Because, first of all, a lot of people have this idea that parenting is just something you either know how to do it, you're either good at it or you're not. And
Right. Yeah.
it's supposed to be innate. It's not something that deserves a lot of
Yes.
attention, reading books or whatever. And if in fact you need to read books or you need to take a class, there's something wrong with you. Yet
It's
this
like
is a
taboo. It's
very
like you need.
important job. You are actually
Yes.
preparing humans to go out into the world, and the foundation that they have can either make the world better or wreak havoc.
Yeah.
And so that makes it such an
Yes.
important job. So I like where you talked about that, because what happens is we're taking a little bit from what we grew up with and something we see over there. We don't have the full context, but we like it, so we're going to try it. And instead of
Mm-hmm. Yes.
really thinking deeply about what you're hoping, the values and the character that you hope your children have, and figuring out,
Right.
what do I need to do in this family, regardless of what they're doing over there across the street and wherever?
Mm-hmm.
What can I do in my family to help them reach those
Yeah.
qualities, and to lead a productive and happy life that they create for themselves? So
Yeah.
I like that. I like the way you talked about that. And so, speaking about child protective services or court orders, what do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions that parents have about anger management and parenting when the court system gets involved? What are some of the biggest misunderstandings that parents have about that?
I think one of the misunderstandings is a level of kind of feeling like guilty, like you missed something. When
Mhm.
it's not really that you missed something, it's just a level of education. Because I've run into a lot of parents that come into my office and they say, "Well, I have to take a parenting class, and I'm a good mom, and this and this and this." And I want them to remove their personal feelings about the situation, kind of like put it to the side,
Sure.
because for whatever reason you're here and a situation has occurred to get their attention. Now you have an open CPS case. So don't use this as a place to feel like you have to defend yourself. Look at it as a space where you can come take some time that you wouldn't normally have time to take a parenting class. Just wake up one day and say, "Hey, I want to take a parenting class." 9 times out of 10, it doesn't happen that way. But now that you're in this space, utilize the tools that you're going to be given, because sometimes we already have these tools, they just need to be sharpened. Or
Yeah.
sometimes you have them in your bag, but you don't even know that they're in your bag because you
Yeah.
never had an opportunity to use them or to look at the situation for what it is. So
Mhm.
one of the things I want them to understand is like when you're here, it's like, I'm not CPS. This is
Mm.
not a battle. This is just a place where you can just take some time out for yourself and really try to really pour into you and identify some of the things that you may be missing the mark on as an individual. That's how you can add value to your kids' life with parenting, because a lot of it doesn't have anything about to do with the kids. The parenting class is not about the kids. It's about the individual. It's about you as a parent really taking a step back and understanding like, hey, what can I do better? What can I obtain from this situation? And that can add value to me, and that I can add value to my kids when we get out of this situation. So
Yes,
I
I
try to
like
encourage
that.
them to think about it in a more positive approach. It's like, hey, I get it. Those are your kids. But for whatever reason, you're in a situation right now where you have to go through these steps to basically not really to prove to the court that you're able to be a better parent, but you're able to be open to be educated, to be open on new tricks and ways and to utilize what you already have because we're all parents and you know if you're a parent you already understand we all have our own stuff on
Mm-hmm.
top of being a parent because sometimes parents we have unresolved traumas our own issues on top of all this stuff and now we're a parent now we're in CPS so now it's like you got somebody poking the bear so they pay
Right.
attention to that so I always mindful like hey don't take it personal because when I was in the court system and I had to take a parenting class. So I have this analogy where as if I am a mother cub and I'm in the I'm a bear and I'm in my wilderness, my habitat, which is the mountains. So I kind of envision CPS as being intruders, like visitors. You know,
Mm.
visitors, people who come to the mountains to see the wildlife, to see what's going on. But the reality of it is you're visiting, but this habitat is my home.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was going through my situation in CPS, I had to realize that every emotion, whether it be a good emotion or a negative emotion, all of them can be used against you. At it depends on whoever you're dealing with because everybody has their own. But yeah, so basically being a bear, being in my wilderness, being in my habitat. So if you're a mother cub and you're trying to protect your bear cubs,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing you really can do in this situation is you have to kind of have some kind of humility and you have to humble yourself.
Sure.
Whether the allegations are true or they're false, at this time, you're really in a space where you need to gain composure and think about the well being of the children. So, my mind is me at some particular point in time, I got really angry because it's like this is not adding up. But the reality of it is, even though I was angry internally, I couldn't let it show externally. So what do you do if you're a bear and you're out in the wilderness and you're trying to protect your cubs? Well, first of all, if you stand up and you show any sign of aggression,
Mm-hmm.
what can they do? They have options. They can either go about their business, they can run away, but 9 times out of 10, they'll shoot you.
Mm.
Somebody will shoot you. So what happens is if you kind of create this space where you're not in control of your emotions and
Right.
they shoot you what do they do what do they get anyway they get the cubs anyway so
Mm.
you're out of the way you're not a threat any longer so what do they come in and they take the cubs
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so, as a parent who's dealing with CPS, any situation like that, you really have to be mindful that even though we know that you're in your territory, this is your house, how you raise your children, how you deal with your children, those things, when you have an open CPS case, you have control and you have to understand how to manage your emotions
Mm.
because this is an environment where they don't necessarily have your best interest as the parent. The best interest is for the safety of the child. So the parent has to get out of the mindset of they're attacking me. They're not necessarily attacking you,
But
but
they're
in the
looking
same,
out for the kids.
but they're looking out for the kids. So that was just my analogy that I realized. I said that right there made a lot of sense to me because a lot of times our parents are angry, they're very aggressive. It's woe is me. They only like there's somebody that's picking on you deliberately. Not to say that's not true or false. Not to say that because we have those situations where it doesn't make any sense the reason why the social workers are doing what they're doing the judges or the attorney. So there are occasions where you just might be picked on, but the reality of it is that's fine too. You just need to make sure that you are able to hold your composure and be very clear and very adamant on your thoughts and your feelings and express yourself. And this is a time where you to kind of take you out the equation and figure out what's best for the kids.
So I'm curious, when you were personally experiencing this, the system, is that when you were able to come up with that analogy, or did that come with you
That was when I was
going
in the
through?
system. That was when I was going through
Okay.
the fire.
Okay, so
So
it helped
that was
you.
something that I used for my own. That was given to
Okay.
me, and that's I was something that was given to me by my higher power because he knows me. And my
Mhm.
first initial action was to try to prove a point when it was like there's no point to be proven. You just have to make sure that you're in a space where you can be clear, because right now is not a time for you to try to show any sign of aggression or anything. Right now, you just really need to humble yourself so you can ask questions. You can be in a space where you can get answers. Because if you're angry and you're upset and you're overwhelmed, you're really not going to get too far. They're just going to put another allegation. So that's when anger management comes in. So
Okay.
all these, so they don't understand. Even if it starts off as an allegation, it can evolve to something bigger than that, based off of what a social worker says. Yeah.
So it sounds like part of you growing through this experience yourself and wanting to help other people, one of the things you offer are anger management classes or
Yes.
program. So for let's talk about that. What are some strategies that you could recommend that, say, a parent listening, they may not be in CPS, but they just
Mhm.
know that they have anger.
Mhm.
What are a couple of things they could do today? So,
Mhm.
particularly if they're feeling overwhelmed by their
Mhm.
situation.
Okay. Well, for parents who are maybe not being CPS, who may be dealing with anger management issues, first the main thing is to find out why you're so angry. A lot
Mhm.
of it can be because of co-parenting experiences,
Mhm.
all responsibilities. Not only you being the main active parent, but you might have children who don't listen very well. They don't follow directions. So it can be a whole lot of reasons why parents are angry. 9 times out of 10, they don't just wake up angry. It can be a lot of different things happen simultaneously. And one of them I know that could be a trigger if there's not an active parent in the relationship, and you have these children who have their own thought process and they're doing everything the way that they want to do it. And so there maybe not be like a lack of discipline. Or you got teenagers, teenagers nowadays, they got their own mind. They have so many other influences.
Mhm.
They, you know what I'm saying? They just don't listen. I just had a conversation with what a good friend of mine. And
Yeah.
it's like, and it's hard because a lot of times our generation, we were kind of raised a little different. We didn't have a lot of all these
Distractions.
distractions. They're major. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have a lot. We had grandparents. We had probably great grandparents. The family was a little bit more structured in unit other than division. So all those things play a part in a parent being angry. A lot of maybe more resentment for the other party, the other parent, because the kids they sometimes they don't see any fault in the other parent. They see the fault with the
Parents that
responsible
they
parent.
live
That's
with.
it.
Mhm.
So it can be very frustrating just being a parent. It's frustrating, and it can be overwhelming when you not only have one, but if you have multiple kids,
So,
multiple.
want to give your skin that lifted, luminous look? Like you just came back from summer vacation? Listen, I know the leaves are turning, but Dermalogica's Phyto Nature Firming Serum does exactly that. With dual phase technology powered by botanicals like camu, Moroccan rock rose, and hyaluronic acid, it helps firm, hydrate, and turn back the clock on tired skin. It's clinically proven to double your skin's luminosity after just one use, and it smooths out lines in just 4 weeks. I use mine, and it's a total game changer for me. So click the link in the notes and grab this deal at Ulta. And trust me, your skin will thank you. Yeah. So as you said, then first recognize why you're angry. That's something
Yes.
that parents could kind of think about today.
Mm-hmm.
What would be next after recognizing the source of the anger? What do they need to do now?
Recognizing the source of the anger, maybe what they need to do is they need to have like a family meeting. They need to not only just walk around and harbor these emotions and think that people can read their mind or the kids really care, because 9 times out of 10 they don't care. They don't understand.
Right.
They just really don't understand where you're coming from. But take some time to kind of invite them into your space.
Right.
Let them know how you feel. Let them know why you feel the way you feel. Let them know that you're tired. Let them know
Mhm.
that you're putting your energy and your effort and you're doing the best that you can to provide. But if you can do a few things that can help me ease the pressure. And when we're dealing with teenagers, I mean, if you can, first of all, I'm paying all the bills. So if I come home, like even me, I have 7 children. So when I
Mhm.
come home, my first thing is like if you know that I'm out handling business, taking care, trying to build and provide, I don't want to have to come in the house to see something that should have been done. I don't want to have to come in the house and wash dishes. I don't want to have to sweep the floor. I don't want to have to mop, especially when you don't have a job. You
So it's
don't have
really
a job. You don't have responsibility. So we really have to be clear that they understand why we are experiencing this anger. Don't assume or don't say because they're kids they don't understand. They understand, and I think earliest is the earlier the better you start communicating with your kids and building this line of communication in this relationship, because now that they know that we're a team, it's not just mommy and the kids, it's all of us in unison, and we live here, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to do the things, I'm keeping the lights on, I'm keeping food, I'm doing my part, but I need you to contribute because we're in this space together.
Right, right. And something that has come up sometimes with parents that I've worked with, they don't recognize they have anger issues.
Right.
Does that come up for you often?
Yeah, they don't recognize it because for one, it's been something they've been doing forever. So if it's something that you've been doing forever and now you're in a situation where you have to address it, it's gonna be a little backlash. It's always gonna be pointing the finger at the other people, but they don't know why. And I do this and I do that. I know that because I do it myself. I've had those days where I have to say, you know what? I need to stop and I need to really invite them into my life so they can understand that all these things just don't happen. It takes energy and effort. Like the lights don't stay on just because.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get to live here just because the people like us. No,
Mhm.
there are things that I have to do to keep the lights on, to keep the bills paid. You have to understand that I need you to contribute because you're not adding no money to this. But you're not giving me no money, but I
Uh-huh.
need you to help me around the house. You have to just be honest because some of these kids, honestly, if you don't ask them, they won't even move a finger. And I'm grateful that my teenagers, I've gotten to the point where it's embedded in their mind. They
Mhm.
even have me on GPS just to track how long they have to actually clean up whatever needs to be cleaned up before I get here.
Now I wish I'd had that when I was younger, but
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
And it's like for myself as a mom before I really got into parent education, on the other side, I
Yeah.
was actually a parent just taking classes. I was curious. I had twin sons, they were toddlers. And I, for one, didn't even realize that I was angry. Like I didn't own it.
Yeah.
It was more, they're frustrating.
Yes.
I don't know why they're doing this. They have to know that this makes my job harder. I mean, I
Yeah.
was really imparting, projecting all of this understanding onto two little kids.
Yes.
And so once I realized, yeah, I am angry about this. And then, like you said, that part where you said, the kids just don't care. Like, whose problem is it? It's mine
Yeah. It's
because
yours.
they are just operating at their age and stage of development, right?
Right.
Little kids are self-centered. The world is about them until you teach them
You
otherwise.
have to teach him that. You have to teach him that we are a team. This is our house. We live here together. And
Mhm.
I need you to help with XYZ.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
other than that, they just really don't know. They don't understand that it's a process, especially if you're a working parent and you got 2 jobs and you're trying to make ends meet. They don't understand the frustration. And then especially if you're a single parent and
Right.
there's another parent somewhere else and maybe they're a little bit more financially secure and stable and life is looking a little bit different. And so we have this resentment, we have this anger, we have this woe is me. And then it's like, then you got to get to the point like, okay, now that we're here, this isn't healthy.
Right.
This isn't healthy because sometimes you can even take those frustrations out on the kids, and
Mhm.
then it can turn into verbal abuse. Then it's
Mhm.
mental abuse, and next thing you know it, then it's like, where are the boundaries? Then it's like,
Right.
as a child, like how do you learn how to trust somebody who doesn't have any self control?
Yes. So I totally agree with you on that. They're very much looking to us,
Yeah,
even when they're pushing back. They're really just trying to figure out where the boundaries are.
they
This
are.
helps them to feel so much more secure. But I was wondering, when you think about the work that you've done with parents in CPS, or for whatever reason have a court order to take parenting classes with you, think about a case where you're just particularly proud or feeling fulfilled about the work you do because of the difference you made in that family. And
Okay.
talk about that. I mean, of course, without sharing any confidential details, but describe something like that that really is a case where it makes you just want to keep doing this work.
I have a lot of situations like that. I have a mother that comes in, and she's finished with my program. So my goal, so when I first get clients, I always express to them that this is a family. I don't just deal with them because they're coming in there to take parenting classes.
Mhm.
Actually, I look at that as an opportunity for me to help them build, grow, and develop
Mhm.
while they're with me. Why? Because that's what I needed. I
Mhm.
need I needed some support like that. And I went to my church, I went to different places, and they did not provide that support. So I told myself, if I'm ever in a space to create this opportunity, that's what I want to do. So I like when I can meet the parents and they come in, they have to do the parenting classes or the anger management classes, and they've successfully completed the class. But in the process of us doing those things, they
Mhm.
get the letter saying that, hey, you have another court date.
Mhm.
The kids are in the foster system, but
Mhm.
we're going to try to make sure they're coming home within 3 to 6 months. So
Okay.
that right there is my real work. So when I
Okay.
go back to the drawing board and I say, okay, let's put a plan of action together. Since
Okay.
3 to 6 months, they're going to be able to come home. So what are
Right.
the things that you need in place? Because a lot of my clients receive either Social Security, AFDC, some kind of government funding. So if
Okay.
the kids are not in the house, they don't have the funding. They don't have this money. So they're
Mm.
expecting them to find a place to live, all
Mhm.
these different things. So
Mhm.
what's really good to me for me in my community is like when I find somebody that's like that,
Mhm.
and they have 101 reasons why they should quit, and they don't
Mhm.
want to do it, or they're picking on me. I have to kind of like help them switch their mindset, and then
Mhm.
we start preparing for the kids to come home. So
Mm.
I start helping them find job placement. I start reaching out to the community and say, hey, we need 2 twin beds, we need 2 new mattresses, and
Okay.
start kind of like building up like a little hope chest for the families.
I
And then
love it.
they'll call me and they'll say, well, Mrs. R, I got a court date. Do you think you can go with me to court? And to
Okay.
go with them to court and to see, we started off in a parenting class or a
Mhm.
domestic violence class,
Mhm.
just to work with them and see how they change when they understand that my objective is to be a part of the solution. And to
Mhm.
kind of help them. So when they come, it's not all about parenting and anger management classes. It's all
Mhm.
about how can I help this family get from here to where they want to be, to where they should be, kind of help them with like a vehicle. It helped her, the parent or the father, understand like what are we doing next? And
Okay.
I think they really enjoy that because I offer a food pantry, a clothing pantry. So if they need clothes to wear to court, even if they're
Mm.
homeless, I really try to create a space where they can really get so much more than me than the parenting class.
Wow, that is just beautiful, and I have to say the way you just lit up when you talked about that,
Well,
I love it. I can just
yeah,
see your passion for that. So
yeah.
I can just tell that the families that come into your program are really blessed by what you do. And so
You
thank
see
you so
this?
much for I do see your little friend on your shoulder there. The cat wants to look out the window, huh?
Right. Oh my goodness, yes.
So, well, tell us where you are online and how we can
Okay.
follow you.
Okay, my website is familybms.com. So you can find me on the website. You can leave a message. I connect through with families through there. We're located in the city of Carson here in California near Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
By cat. We're located in the city of Carson. Our address is 20411 South Susanna Road, and we're located off the 17 exit on Delamo and Susanna Road. And you can find us on social media. We have a Facebook page, Family Behavior Modification Services.
Mm-hmm.
So those are a few places that you can call us. And I always give out my phone number. My number is 323-804-9834.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those kind of people you gotta leave a note with the receptionist. That's my line. So you can either text me or you can call me. I might not get right back to you, but I'm gonna get back to you because I like to talk to people. I like them to know that I'm real. I want them to understand that I'm an advocate. I don't work for the court system or with CPS. I'm just a parent. I'm just a person who's had an experience, and my vow is to really provide service, support, and solutions. In any way that I can help them, I will, far beyond the classes or what it says. I mean, I'm here to provide all the services, like I said. And I created this space because a lot of the families don't have food, they don't have clothes,
Right.
they don't have a lot of the necessities. And the system sometimes kind of makes it impossible when you already don't have nothing to try to come up with something to prove
That
that
you're
you're
worthy
capable.
to.
Yeah, that you're worthy to even bring your kids back home. And
Right.
sometimes we need help. And I don't.
Sure.
And let me tell you, it doesn't matter if you're a rich person or a challenged person.
Mm-hmm.
All kind of people walk through my doors,
Right.
from
Right.
police officers to nurses. Anybody can be in this space.
Right. Right.
Anybody can really be in this space. And sad is a lot of times some of these cases are open just based on allegation. There's no evidence, but you still have to go through the process. So I try
Mm-hmm.
to make that process easy as possible where it doesn't feel like homework or a chore. It's
Right.
something that you really sit back and you say, hey, this right here was a good opportunity, because if these things hadn't happened and I wasn't in this space, I would have never took the time to even take the time to peel back the layers. A lot of us don't. I
No.
wouldn't have picked, I wouldn't have done a parenting class if it
Right.
wasn't something that I was ordered to do. And
Right.
in that process, I said, hey, this right here, really, in my mind, it needs to be offered as early as junior high school.
Sure. No, I absolutely agree.
All these classes need to be, it needs to be, man, even when it comes to the social workers and the attorneys and the judges, it would be a great space for them to get educated, because believe it or not, a lot of them are operating from their own level of experience, and
For
some of it can
sure.
be very limited. So
Right.
it's like everybody is black and white when the world is not black and white.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And as we wrap up today's inspiring conversation, I just want parents who are listening, who are watching, just to know that they're not alone in this journey. And whether you are navigating court ordered anger management
Yeah.
programs or you're just craving support, just know that there's a community waiting for you. And I
Yes.
want you to join us in the Parenting 411 community group on Facebook. Just head on over there. It's the Parenting 411 community. You'll put that in the search bar and you will find us. And it's really a place where parents lift each other up. They share
Oh,
resources, they grow, just really grow stronger together. And I just want all parents to know that your story matters, your family matters. And together with the community and with professionals like Roshanda, like myself, we can make every day a step toward healing and hope in your families. And I just can't wait to see you all there. And remember, it's never too late to be the parent you want to be. Can't wait to talk to you again next time. Take care.
me too. Thank you.
We bring you this episode for the purpose of information and entertainment only. It is not the intent or purpose of the Parenting 411 podcast or Carol Maletta to provide an exhaustive reference or guide on all aspects of parenting, child care, and family life. You are strongly encouraged to read all available information, consult medical or other appropriate professionals, and pursue all reasonable means to learn as much as possible about parenting to complement what you gain here, and then tailor the information to meet your individual needs. Yes, parenting is a serious matter, though it is not an exact science. The context and insights offered in this and every episode represent an account of knowledge and personal experiences of the host and any featured guests for the viewers' and listeners' information and consideration. The host and guests do not guarantee to our viewers or listeners any specific parenting outcomes from this episode or taking actions described here.